4 months ago, I was a Russian comedian, but then I spoke openly against the war, and now I am a traveling comedian.
Yep, that's me. My name is Dan. I am a comedian from Russia, but now I don't really have a home, so I'm using my desktop as my studio for my first video. Until 2022, I was quite successful and I even sold out theaters. I also had 3 dogs. It's not important for the story, I just want you to like me. But then Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine. On the first day of the war, a lot of Russian comedians signed the anti-war letter. We hoped that mainstream comics and their followers would support us, but they remained quiet. So this open letter became a list of medium famous comedians that could be easily threatened. I received several death threats over the phone. I'm going to play the recording of one of the calls. It's totally in Russian, so you won't understand it. I hope.
Что я хочу тебе объяснить, пидор ты ебучий, блядь. Мы сейчас под Киевом, нахуй. Но вертолеты летают очень быстро, блядь, современные, российские, нахуй, наши. И мы, блядь, у тебя под дверью будем, нахуй, через 6 часов, блядь, с полным боекомплектом. Тебе пиздец, тварь ты ебаная.
And after that, I just kept irritating the war supporters because people used my posters to protest the war. And finally, some activists brought funeral flowers to the stage during my show. The flowers had a note saying traitor, and it was kinda scary, but...
It was supposed to be an anonymous threat, but it was a really small town, so when those guys have left, like half of the room said it was Sergei and Stanislav.
Meanwhile, we sold our apartment and we were ready to leave Russia. We hoped to move to the US so I could keep doing comedy. But then we counted our money and we moved to Turkey. And since I don't have any other skills, I just kept doing comedy in Istanbul.
And my dream is to live in California someday. And Turkey is a perfect transition place between Russia and California. Because it's already warm and beautiful, and it's still a dictatorship, so like...
The European media interviewed me and other comedians that left Russia a lot. I guess they just couldn't believe that there are anti-war Russians. Right now I'm using my laptop to watch me using my laptop on the Euronews website. I started doing shows in Russians to get some money for the Ukrainian refugees and for my family. I got a chance to do shows in those beautiful venues. People actually come to see my shows, I just like to take pictures before the show. I also had a chance to see what the world thinks of Russia, and I cannot say I'm surprised. Okay, this one is a little bit surprising. This Vladimir Putin portrait has some fantasy elements in it, but I still think it's the most realistic Vladimir Putin portrait. I gathered the information about Ukrainian charity organizations to send money to, and that means that I finally know why I need Notion. I don't expect my life to be normal anymore. I just try to be a law-abiding person in a country that accepts me, and if I'm able to do the paperwork in this country.
I live in Istanbul and I'm an immigrant here. I have no rights, I cannot vote, so basically nothing changed for me since I left Russia. Same, except for the paperwork. Oh my god, the paperwork here is terrifying. I don't know. It changes your perspective on things, because I recently watched a Jason Bourne movie. I'm not impressed anymore by the action scenes, by car chases, but this moment when Jason Bourne opens the drawer and he takes a bunch of foreign passports, I'm like, oh my god, did he do all the paperwork to get those? And he has a Turkish passport there. I'm like, holy shit. Did he do the paperwork here? Did he go to this terrible building in Pendik to do the paperwork? Did he obtain Ikamet? Oh my god, he's a superhuman.
Of course, I am not a happy person, but I wasn't happy in Russia. It feels like my dysfunctional family prepared me for this life.
When I was 15, I had suicidal thoughts, and my mom saved me, because I came up to my mom and I told her about my suicidal thoughts, and she said, "What? Suicide? You're 15. You cannot have real problems. Wait a couple of years." your life will get way worse. And I'm like, oh yeah, and that happened.
It's a little bit scary to start doing stand-up in a new language, but I already managed to do money from comedy one time, and it's like I restarted the game on a new difficulty level.
I'm trying to restart my career, this time in English, and my dream is to become like a famous Russian writer, Vladimir Nabokov. I want to inspire pedophiles. I'm kidding. I just want to be good both in Russian and English, and Nabokov did because he grew up in a family where everyone spoke Russian and English. And I grew up in a family where nobody spoke at all. So, I don't know, my English is not that good. Actually, I speak like a character from GTA 4, you know?
It's good though that I don't know English well enough to fill my social media with the clips of my crowd work. And of course, the language is not the hardest part. Other Russians ruined our reputation forever, and I will have to work with that.
My suicidal thoughts have come back. And again, I didn't kill myself. Sorry for the spoiler, but I didn't. I didn't do it because of the stupidest idea. Like, I was thinking about suicide, but then I thought about my Airbnb host. I thought it would be such an asshole move to kill yourself in the Airbnb apartment. Because the host will come back, he will open the door, he will see my dead body on the floor, and he'll say, "Oh, fucking Russians. They just can't stop killing people. This asshole didn't find anyone to kill, so he killed himself. Jesus." I don't think he will say Jesus, but the rest is fine.
If you feel like you are interested in what's going to happen to me next, please subscribe to this channel or to my Instagram page. And I will see you on Netflix.